You're listening to The Hang with Mike Manson Waters and Matt Spice Floyd.
Welcome to The Hang with Mike and Matt. Yeah,
there it is.
A lot of hype. Actually, a flawless intro. For the first time ever. Welcome to The Hang with Mike and Matt. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Matt. Hope you're doing well.
I hope you're doing well.
First hour, be the usual hang. Second hour is going to be really easy because we're going to do what we did last week. We're going to ask the chat questions, and we're going to spend the entire second hour
ignoring them.
Answering these incredible. Ignoring them. We'll try that again, and we'll actually try to go with the questions.
All right.
So if you got questions when we go to our next break,
yes,
and we're going to come back and answer.
Yes, we promise. We swear.
It would be good rib to completely ignore him again, right? We could rib.
Or vice versa if they ignore us. That's even funnier.
That's true. Either way.
So good.
Somebody's getting ribbed.
Yeah, either way.
But if you do give us questions, we'll answer. We promise. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, totally. Yeah. How you feeling, man? What's going on?
I don't know. I got something going on in my gut. I've decided to not worry about it.
Good for you. Shaking it off.
I'm just like, go back to exercising and see if it gets worse. We're better. If it gets worse, then I'll go to the ER. That's my.
There you go.
It's not a good way. Probably not a good way to do it. But hey, my doctor of 20 years said I'm a new patient now, and he can't get me in until May 18th.
Congratulations. Yeah. It's always great, isn't it?
Because I haven't been sick enough and gone to the doctor enough. So it's been a couple years. So I'm out.
Yeah, it's like
20 years.
It's like doctor credit, right? Like if you don't use a credit card in a couple years, they chop it up, and then you have to start all over.
Probably fee involved, new patient fee or whatever.
Oh, of course.
How many times have you been to the doctor when if you go regularly, or semi-regularly, and you go in and like, oh, here we're updating the computer system, and they give you the 3-page thing to fill out again, and it's like No, I filled out 3 times in the last 5 years. Nothing's changed. You do the transfer.
It's incessant. It's every time. But now they do the check-in online, so you can, and they'll constantly remind you. At least my doctor, they'll be like, "Hey, don't forget you've got an appointment later this week," and then they'll text you, and then they'll email you again, and because they want to make sure that you're not flaking out on them, right? Yeah. Because that's going to cost them money, right?
You gotta keep it jam-packed.
So they keep reminding you, and then 15 minutes, your appointment's coming up in 15 minutes. Like I'm in the lobby, like I'm here, and my appointment's at 4 or whatever, and then they pull me back there at 4, but guess what? Doctor's not popping until 5:30. And now you've gone through this whole thing of trying to get there on time, be responsible, fill out the paperwork, and then you're left hanging. It's one of those privileged businesses. It's like, since you're a doctor, we're going to run our business a little bit differently, and whatever we say goes, and, sometimes I'll be late, so I might have this to do, so this, it's kind of, it seems like they're very uppity. Yeah. It's my old doctor, he used to, this is the problem is, I used to go see him, and we'd be in there all, talking for 2 hours. And I'm going, doesn't this guy have any other patients? Meanwhile, he does. He's just spending 2 hours chatting it up with me. And I didn't want to, I don't want to have that 2 hours of conversation. Like,
is it the same guy I went to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would feel bad. I would be like...
Exactly.
I was like, this is,
this is unfair to other patients who actually have issues.
He would chat. I mean, he chatted up for days.
Oh my! Like he may have seen 2 patients that day. Me and maybe somebody else.
Do you think it's just because we're on the show? Do you think he just he gets through like 3 people a day, and everybody's just like, Jesus Christ?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
the worst, waiting in a doctor. I don't know if it seems like time is different to people. Like, people don't care if they get through red lights anymore because they just go back to what they were doing on their phone.
Okay, yeah,
And
that's
I think,
fair. Yeah.
I think waiting is different too because they're just like playing a game on their phone for an hour when I'm sitting there going, it's been a fucking hour.
Yes.
This is the longest hour of my
Yes.
life.
Well, I used to, when I was waiting in the doctor's office recently, I used to be in there and, I've got my phone, so I'm looking at some stuff, right? But I can't play videos too loudly because then it's going to like disrupt somebody. So then I'm going, this last time I go, I'll bring my AirPods.
Yeah.
So I got my AirPods. So, man, I could have given a shit when that doctor came. I was in my AirPod world.
Yeah.
And at that point, the game changed and I'm going, fine, I'll sit here for an hour. I think it's rude, but I'll do it. At least I got AirPods. I can just watch, YouTube videos or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. In a waiting room, I don't know how rude that is.
Yeah.
Because you do whatever it takes to get through that wait.
Dude.
That's the worst place in the world.
I maintain the rudest thing that people are doing these days is talking on their phone on speaker in a public environment and forcing me to hear their phone call. It is such a pet peeve of mine.
It's a total dick move.
It's so incredibly rude on multiple fronts. It's rude because you're forced to hear it. It's rude to the person they're actually talking to. This person's all of a sudden, in a public square. Like, that person called you. He didn't call the restaurant. Like, it's not. The whole thing's they broke down all the walls of any sort of privacy of a phone call by putting it on speaker. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a certain type of person.
It really is.
And they talk very loudly. And what we're going to do tomorrow when we meet at the site, we're going to get the guys and we want the top-notch stuff, and they're trying to impress people and look like a big shot. And it's like, I hate you. You're not impressing me. I loathe you. You're just a dick.
Or it's complete innocuous conversation.
Yeah.
And, well, Sherry told me this, and I'm not going to... You tell Sherry that when I see her... all of it. Like, that's a conversation between you and that person. Keep it between y'all. Like, nobody has to hear it.
It's very rare that you hear a stranger's interesting conversation on the phone. And you're like, oh, I wonder what they're talking about. No, it's all like, shut up.
Yeah, shut up already. Enough.
Shut up already. I didn't want to talk to anybody, but I got to hear you. And they're oblivious. They're like, you're in their own world. Blah, 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 blah. And you're right behind them going,
All right, not to stereotype, but you know who I've noticed it most with?
Who?
A little bit of an older Latina woman.
Oh, boy.
That seems to be, at least in my experience, where I'm getting the majority of hearing these conversations is it's mid-40-year-old, mid-50-year-old Latina woman who's doing everything on speakerphone. Doing everything. She's doing her shopping, she's doing everything's on speakerphone.
And it's... Yeah, she's in like, and Julio, what he did last week, real loud and everything. And you're like, shut up.
Yes.
Shut up.
But you can't tell that person to shut up
No,
because
you
then
can't.
you're the rude one.
It's society.
And on top of it, it'll cause a kerfuffle. And the last thing I'm trying to do is cause kerfuffles. And so I just have to I just got to wear it. You just got to eat it and move on and go, okay, let me try not to find myself in that situation again.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was delivering flowers to a Target several weeks ago. I took it to the main desk, and I said, "This is for Juanita, flowers for Juanita." And,
flowers for Juanita.
And she's like, "Oh yeah," and she turns to her friend and she starts going in Spanish. And I was like, "Okay, I got these flowers for Juanita." It's a whole deal, and I'm sitting there like, well, you could fill me in on this whole Juanita situation because it was like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I feel like an idiot because they're totally speaking Spanish.
So are you trying to get out of there, or are you trying to get now involved to go, what the hell are they talking about?
I'm trying to get out of there, man.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to get out of there and just not feel stupid as I sit there and people speaking a foreign language in my own country and ignore me. And then finally she's like, okay, and she takes it. And I'm like, All right, bye.
So it was all that, and then finally she just turns and takes it.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah.
The Target. Target in Tijuana.
Man, Target, I used to, everybody makes fun of the people at Walmart.
Yeah.
And, I've been guilty myself. But I'll tell you what, it's to the point where now I'd rather go to the Walmart than go to the Target because the Target has got some freaks in there.
Really? Haven't been to a Target in a while.
It's a different kind of freak. It's like, okay, Walmart, you know what you're getting, typically speaking. You're getting, you're getting left and right wing. It's not that. But
you're getting The Hills Have Eyes. What you're getting.
Target has somehow manipulated the market into having snobby shoppers. They're snobby. I don't know how to explain it. They feel like they're at a Nordstrom or some sort of Saks or Bloomingdale's, but it's still fucking Target. But there's some sort of air of an entitlement.
We're not at Walmart.
Yes,
that's it.
But it's like you're almost at Walmart. Like you're pretty close. You're not. You're not at Nordstrom. You're not.
I mean, it's a glorified grocery store, combination department store. But it's like not.
Dude, I'm telling you, and women will dress up to shop there, like for real. I don't know. Again, if you haven't been there, next time you go,
they have a dress code. They got a bouncer there at Target.
Nah, you'll typically see. I mean, the women wearing yoga pants, which is societal norm now, so I'm okay with that. But then you'll have like these younger girls that wear like the big baggy sweatpants and then crop tops, and they're dressed up to the nines, ton of makeup on, and they're going to Target. And they're not going anywhere else because Target's the only thing in the plaza. They've made this appointment just for Target. It's
Target, man.
Yeah, it's
Target. I don't go. I've been there plenty of times, but it's like, just a shinier, cleaner Walmart, right?
Yes, I completely agree with you.
So you'd rather go? Would you rather be
without mulch?
Exactly, no mulch.
I mean, if I need mulch, I can't go to
You can't go to Target.
Yes.
Would you rather be with the lumpen proletariat or the snobs at Target?
The first thing you said. What was that?
It's a lumpen proletariat.
I've never heard that term.
It's Lenin kind of term, socialist term. Those are the people, the average working person that they want to pretend to, do good for. When actually, it's just another way to control people.
Yeah, I want to go with those people. I want to hang out with those people.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Sometimes I might want to go to a Target, but for the most part, I'm finding I just want to hang out with the nice common folk.
Just the common folk.
That's it.
Donna went to Walmart today. She opened up the back of her car and said, "Guess how much?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
What did you get? What was the big trip?
It was just this and that, some dinners for the week.
Okay.
And some other things. And I think she did get like a cheap toaster as well.
Uh-oh.
I toasted what?
That'll set you back.
It's a toaster. $9.99. You get the 4-slicer for $19.99. It was $400, and she's like, I'm so pissed. Just that this $400 for this, and it's like, I think inflation came in hot. The CPI.
It did, yeah.
3.9, and it's like, man, if you add up the shit that people are paying, because the CPI is a very narrow judge of inflation. You take people's insurance and their car payment and the gas and the groceries and the mortgage and everything that people are paying, and the fast food. Not that you could legitimately just get fast food once a week like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
As a treat. But you're still spending $25, $35 at your fast food stop for one or two people.
It's insanity. And then, furthermore, the CPI and, inflation, they're going, oh, well, basically like inflation's not going down essentially like they thought it was going to. And I'm sitting here going, is this news to anybody? It's not news to me. Like, nothing in my life has gone down. If inflation was going down, eventually I would like to see some relief, some sort of, it would be commensurate with the market, right? It would all fall if inflation was. Nothing in my life has fallen. Everything's only gone up. So these fucks, when they go, oh, it's coming in hot, Well, no shit, it's coming in hot. You're damn right it's coming in hot. And I don't know who would be surprised that it's coming in hot.
See, now, the more you think about it, it's just a giant government corporate lie, and they're getting rich off this inflation, and they're telling the media to downplay the inflation when everybody I talk to and know says, well, it ain't no fucking 3%. 3% my ass.
Well, it's like the thing that they go, oh, we're not in a recession. It's like, well, the definition of a recession is 2 quarters back to back with blah, 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 whatever, the terminology is. And that has happened. This was like, last year or the year before, whatever. And then what did they do? They just go, yeah, but we're not in a recession. So this definition of the recession is this. This has happened. And now the White House is just going to go, yeah, we're not in a recession. Like, it's so weird to me how they could just, like, they trumped it. They just go, fake news. It would be like the equivalent. If Trump had a recession, what would Trump do? He would go, fake news.
News and numbers lie.
The Biden administration did the same thing with the recession. Just go, yeah, we're not reading into it that way. They just said it fancier. It wasn't like, they didn't say fake news. They just go, we're not reading that data the same way as you are. Like,
they did this.
Completely hand jobbed you.
Well, this just in, Wikipedia has changed the definition of recession. And so now it's whatever happened, whatever just happened. That's the new definition. I mean, whatever didn't happen.
Isn't that weird?
It's bullshit. It's like the media just says whatever they want. It's like the government tells the media what to say. The media says it, and we don't believe it. But nobody. And you only know it when you talk to somebody else, and they go, "Yeah, isn't that bullshit?"
Yes, and the only American hero out there, the only one willing to put his balls on the line, still to this day, Peter fucking Doocy. He's the hero America needs.
I mean, where did they, his dad worked for Fox and did the morning show, and he was pretty good. And so this kid got grandfathered in, and went right back. His dad, still works there. And he's so like the ultimate big, tall, white, dorky douche.
I know, but I like it when he breaks balls. They know, you just know when they go to him. Like,
you know it's going to be.
You know it's going to be at least an attempt at something good, right? Might not always get there.
Well, he's working
material.
He's singing her with, just the truth.
Yes.
He sings her with the truth, and then she comes back with these blatant falsehoods like all press secretaries do. It's nothing new that the press secretary is lying through their teeth. That happens, always happened. But now all of a sudden it's supposed to be the truth when they made it more unbelievable than ever.
He's the only reporter I can think of and name off the top of my head that I've ever heard ask questions in a White House press conference.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's others, right? I mean, if somebody were to spit out a name, I'd go, okay, that person sounds familiar. But Peter Doocy is the only one that I will forever, it will be like emblazoned in my head of going, oh, that's Peter Doocy, right? Like he's just that. He's become iconic
because
at this point.
It's every week or almost every day. He's got the question, which to me,
he's a national treasure. Mike.
This proves that it's fake because they let him ask the complete, truthful questions. So they can spew the lie, and then Fox will play it and say, "Look, Peter Doocy asked," and look at the answer he got, and then on CNN they go, "Well, look at this jackass with his MAGA question." It's completely fake, because that's why nobody else does it other than Peter Doocy, because he's in. Because if you ask the wrong question, you just lose your White House press pass.
Yeah,
and then you lose your job. They're like, "What?" CBS says, "What?" Well, you lost your press pass because you asked a tough question.
It's that thing of it is kind of a work because off the clock, right? There's chances are off the clock that Jean-Pierre Ronron and Peter Doocy are probably getting along. You know what I mean?
Like they have drinks, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's banging her,
and that's the shit that always pissed me off. Like when I had attorneys dealing with legal issues for me and all this stuff. It was always so weird to me how the attorneys were friendly with one another. And I'm going, we're in battle. Do we not put on your fucking helmet and dig in? Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are you guys shaking hands and talking? Like, what's happening here?
Best buddies.
Yeah. And then circumstance that happened, you realize okay, well, that attorney's not necessarily, it's like, they almost like put it as like, no, we do our battle in the courtroom. Outside of that, everything's cool. I just never operated that way. I was always operating on the assumption like we're at war or we're not at war. Like,
because that's a pretty big war. Well,
it is.
You're, in a case, that's you got to win. You got to win.
Well, not necessarily. If you're an attorney who's getting a flat rate, regardless, it doesn't matter. In reality, it doesn't necessarily matter if you win or not, right? But furthermore, like it's not their life on the line. It's not their it's not them. It's just their.
It's you.
It's their day. Yeah,
it's you.
You're the one having to suck it up, right? You're the one having to watch these attorneys, schmooze and shake hands and hug it out. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
I mean, I could have spent that extra half hour preparing Matt's defense on that case, and we would have got him off scot-free, but I decided to go to Chuck E. Cheese with my kids. They're just humans. They're just humans. Everybody's human.
The worst is when you find out they hang out off the clock, and the two opposing attorneys hang out. Yeah, it's
just human nature. I mean,
I know.
It's just human nature. It's like if you're a judge, and judges have social lives too, and who do they know? They know lawyers, so they probably hang out with some lawyers. They like these lawyers. That lawyer's trying to case. You're gonna swing that way. It's just you almost couldn't help yourself. Well, I really want Matt to win this case because that guy's a douchebag. That lawyer's a douchebag. I want Matt to win.
Well, that wasn't happening. But I know what you're saying.
I'm a fictitious judge, and you're my buddy.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
that would have been nice.
Sorry, buddy. I know we're real tight here, man. He's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, there is a certain etiquette. I get it, but it's such a small cog of a much larger system of systematic problems with people knowing people and it trickling down, and it's whatever. That's
what people are like. Well, they act like the Supreme Court. Kevin Kevin better watch how many K's I say, Kevin. Kevin JK. Kevin KK. KJ. He resubscribed. I forgot him. Thank you very much.
I feel like everybody, like whenever we're in here,
question's ready. Go ahead.
You rattle off some names and they sound familiar, but I feel like they resubscribe and they go, oh, he subscribed for this. Has it been a month already since the last time I heard Kevin JK's name?
Subscribe, yes, I would imagine.
Man, time flies.
Time flies.
That's crazy. It literally feels like it's
we're coming
not
up,
so long ago.
I think we're coming up on a year on this thing.
Like September.
Yeah, it's getting there. We lasted more than 90% of all streams.
Have we?
I think a lot of. I mean, I know you can go see a ton of just scroll through stream after stream of people that got like 6 people listening. And they've probably been doing it for years. It's just like some people just aren't ever going to get it. It's just there's too many streams out there. It is
a big battle for attention.
It's a dirty game. So I always feel fortunate to have that people tune in and
for sure
view it and checking us out on Spotify and YouTube and the clusterfshow.com VIP section.
Look at you pimping the product.
It's a dirty game.
Oh man,
it's a dirty game.
Hey, I get it. I get it.
Oh, it is a dirty game. But this is so much better in a creative aspect, though. I don't have to worry about the rules, and you don't break the rules like you might try to at least push them in the old day because this is my livelihood. Yeah. I'm not going to push it too far.
Well, you told me week one, I go, what can we do and what can't we do? And you literally rattled off like 3 things, and I didn't make a note of it. It was just a mental note, and we just haven't gone there.
So don't be stupid. Don't say stupid stuff, really flagrant, stupid, bad stuff. It's like, and then a couple things you got to tiptoe around because it's a new world.
Which is fine.
And I don't give a shit.
Yeah, not that big of a
talk
deal.
Talk about that later. Maybe on the VIP.
At clusterfshow.com.
It's all the big work. It's all the big work. That was a whole scripted. Like, Bubba, I got an email here. What weight motor oil do you use in this bank car? Tommy from Topeka says.
Tommy from Topeka. It's so believable that it's unbelievable. Oh my God, yeah. The fake emails were the best and the worst. Like, Dude, you can write as many fake emails as you want, like, but at least make them sound believable. Like, at least write the email. Like, at least pretend.
No.
At least type out the fake email so you know the script you're reading from.
No. You got a blank piece of paper. And he just wings it.
Yeah.
Tommy from Tupelo says, wait, motor. And when you have your axle changed.
Got an email here. It's like, there's not even an email.
And it would be like a specific product that only he would use. And he... It's like there's some outrageous product.
Oh, dude, you just unzipped me. This brought up a bad memory of... Okay, this goes back to... Oh, God. I mean, a long time ago.
A long time ago.
And he was getting his house built. And, of course, everything he was doing was plug-ola. Like completely not legal in the way you're supposed to do it, right? But whatever. And he wanted curbing and he had a
Curb King.
The Curb King.
Curb King. I think I had to do a song about Curb
my
King. Or I did a
God.
bit about, I think I was in Bubba Crib.
This is like
after Curb King, see my curbs.
This is like PTSD now coming back. You're hitting me with PTSD now, Mike.
Curb King.
He promoted the fuck out of this guy for like 3 hours a day, every day it must have been 2 years until he got his curbing done. And then he just dropped him like a bad habit. Like you never heard about the Curb King. Like that was like, he didn't want to hang out with the guy. Didn't want to be friends with the guy. It wasn't like he was it was no tie-in from a person. It was just like he wanted free curbing.
Yep.
So it was, oh my God. Yeah, we had to hear the Curb King.
Curb King. Beaver smell like tuna, 300 bit. Thank you, beaver smell like tuna.
It's a bad pimp job or a really good pimp job, depending on how you look at it, when 20 plus years later, I still remember the business.
Yeah, I mean, Curb King. It just gets like how could you forget?
Oh,
Trying to think of some of the other famous ones, but
what, as far as like promotion?
like the big schmoozes, but I can't remember. Too high.
Well, that's good. That's I mean, there's a ton of them. Everything.
I mean, see, the certain ones I get, like Mike's Pizza. I'm all in. I'm all in on the let's promote Mike's Pizza. It's great pizza. It's great sandwiches. And let's talk about them because I enjoy getting that Mike's Pizza every week. How about you?
It was okay. It was all right.
It's free food in the morning, It's like,
Dude, the problem with that free food in the morning, which I learned over time, was, man, you eat pizza and everything like that at 6 a.m. and then, God, you just get fat. You just you got to really be careful.
I tried to do it like once or twice a week.
Yeah, you dip in a little bit. You're
Because
never all in.
You just can't. I used to eat better. I used to be able to have the willpower to not touch that stuff.
Are you eating bad now?
There's a little more.
Of what? Is it candy, sweets?
No, everything. I don't eat a lot, but I like, Donna has a candy drawer. And then there was Easter, so the kids, they got plenty of candy. They left it.
So then you take that. Pimp's cut.
2 or 3 times a day, you might get a little Reese's, just a small peanut butter cup. See, not the big one, just And then there's some chips that are really delicious up the cabinet. And you have a few of the. So I don't know. I'm guilty of that. Guilty of that. I love the snack.
Man, the Easter thing, the Reese's peanut butter bunny rabbits. There was one.
That's solid,
dude.
Solid.
It appeared in my daughter's Easter basket, and
she's like, "No, Daddy,
bro,
no."
It appeared in the fridge about a week later, but we were cleaning out the fridge, and I'm looking around, and it was lost. Nobody knew it was in there. It was one of those things. Somehow it got lost in the shuffle. The inventory was not accounted for, and I'm looking around, and going, nobody's gonna miss this.
It's a clean swipe.
Bro, clean swipe. I mean, the whole thing was gone. I was like, well, I'll just take a taste, just a nibble.
They come in and you're covered in chocolate.
Oh, my God.
What have you done?
It was so good. I'm looking at the box. I'm looking at the calories on the back, and I'm going, I don't even care right now. It's so good. I don't even care. It's just.
Oh, it's bad for me. I don't care. I'm not going to eat a Reese's cup every day.
You know what did you eat today so far? What has been your?
Oh, what's today? Okay, so today's Wednesday. We don't do a show on Wednesday, so we got up a little late, and Donna made turkey sausage, a fried egg, and half of an English muffin.
I had 3 hot dogs. 2 shoved into 1 bun and then 1 solo.
A bun in the morning, a hot dog in the morning.
It's about noon. That's all I've had today.
Okay.
But
Man,
yeah, I know. But
you treat your body more like a temple.
what did I say? Nutrition is my passion. I don't know. I just felt like having a hot dog today. I was like, for some reason, because I got my grill fixed, so now I can,
Sometimes you crave a hot dog.
And I'm going, well, what's the easiest
2 in
thing to
1
grill?
bun.
Well, they were tiny little Hebrew nationals. Look, let's
Kosher.
Kosher, that's right. I don't even know what kosher means. I do, but I don't.
You have to kill it in a certain way and something else, a certain clean.
And then grind up the processed meats and put them
like,
together.
I've been seeing lots of videos, not to go on a tangent, but
No, please.
of like strict Jews, and there's certain things you can do in an upcoming period where you can't use electricity and you can't do this, and there's nothing but TikToks of these people going, and here's a device to where you can circumvent the rules, and technically you could benefit from electricity while not actually doing it. And it's like, you're just being a complete hypocrite. I mean, talk about being a hypocrite. It's like, well, Jesus said not. Well, I mean, the Torah says to not use electricity, but I got to figure out how to way to use electricity anyway, and say I'm not.
Yeah, you're just trying to find a loophole.
It's like, that's not really practicing your religion. Is looking for companies. So many people are looking for loopholes.
Yeah,
that they're looking for. They got products for it now. You can get a coffee maker that somehow makes coffee not in violation of the strict standards of the whatever holy day it is.
Yeah, the loophole thing is odd.
It's preposterous.
It'll be
like God doesn't know. He's like, oh, what'd you do to get the coffee? No, God knows.
Dude.
He's like, that's not God. You think God's not going, that's not what I meant. God's going, brilliant.
Okay, you got to hear this one. My daughter goes to a youth group a couple weeks ago, and I'm not a huge. I don't know what I believe. I'm probably much like a lot of people out there. I don't know.
Yeah, who does?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Like, I'm not getting under the hood of this thing. I don't know what's going on.
Impossible to know.
But I do also think that church or youth groups or any of that stuff, in certain respects, can lead to a good way of living, just in terms of like morality, basic sort of fundamental morality, right? Like, let's not get too deep into the Catholic Church and stuff like that. I just mean like from a fundamental thing of going, hey, you find some kids to hang out at youth group and whatever. So she goes to this youth group thing, and we then find out, it's like, oh, you're gonna go again? She's like, I don't really want to go. Like, why? She's like, it was a guy sobbing. It was a concert. A guy cried, and then they made him find baby Jesuses. They hid baby statues of Jesus all over the place. And I'm going, I don't know if that's fun or not, but it sounds like, to hear her say it, it sounded so like odd, right? Because youth group, when you put it, okay, they sing some songs, maybe somebody gets a little emotional, and then they have a game where they, hide baby Jesus statues, and you go find them, and then, hey, you call it a day. But to hear the way she breaks it down, I'm going, it was just a guy crying. They played some songs, and they made us find baby Jesuses. I'm going, that is weird. Maybe a little.
It's church. See, to me, most churches are, I think it's a job. The guy's trying to make as much money as he can. So there's just, they're basically trying to dupe you out of your money. And it also attracts people who like to prey on gullible people, just in general. So it's usually filled with nefarious people. So I don't trust churches any more than I trust any other group.
Yeah, I know. And also, truth be told, youth group, when I was a kid, I would go to youth group, and it was all right. Until about the age of like 12 or 13, then it just became a place to find some broads to hook up with. It was like, well, what time are your parents picking you up from youth group? 9. All right, so we'll meet you around back of the church at 8, right? Like, it didn't become, it was,
Just being a normal kid.
Yeah, the youth group was really just a session for like, how are we going to
Yeah.
How are we going to bang? Like, what's going to happen here? How am I going to accomplish getting to second base while being at church?
I don't think you were studying the Bible hard enough.
I was not.
I don't think you were. You
was
weren't getting
not.
the message.
I was not.
Fornication.
That was just the way it was. If you wanted to go to like Adventure Island or one of the theme parks, your parents weren't going to take you, but you could sure as hell glom onto a youth group that was going to be taking a bus of 50 kids to, Busch Gardens, and you'd go, all right, I'll just pay the $50 and we'll go, take part in it there.
My parents were not religious enough to make me join a youth group.
Did they ever try?
Maybe you go to Sunday school, but it couldn't have been more than a dozen times because I would fight it. I would fight it hard. Like they could make me go to Vacation Bible School one time, which is like a week in the summer. It's a camp for your mom to get rid of you for a while.
Yep.
They had to drag me there. Literally, they drug me there
because they wanted to get rid of you that badly,
and I didn't want to go that bad. It was like, no, West Tampa, subscribe for 24 months. Thank you very much.
West Tampa. My dad was a Bible banger. Not all his life, I don't think, but for whatever reason, he became very religious. And the only way we would get money out of him, besides the child support, he would make us remember Bible verses. And if you could remember a Bible verse, then you get $1. Yeah. And I'm trying, right? My sisters remember, and they're like, they're getting $10, $20. They're rattling off stuff. I'm going, I got like $1. I'm going, this isn't even worth it for me. But that was...
because first you got to remember, like Corinthians 2, chapter 3, for, there's some bunch of words that you don't understand.
Yep.
It's hard to remember.
And all the fancy words, real King's English kind of stuff. Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to remember that Shakespearean language. Do they have like an urban Bible out there?
I guarantee they have a version that's readable.
I would be more apt to read something that was breaking it down a little simple. Like an urban dictionary
like
style.
Revelations is still going to talk about the 12-headed beast with crowns and the dragon.
But you can make it sound cool
with bare feet and a lion's face. It's
Wait, is that Old Testament?
No, that's Revelation. I don't know if I wonder if it is. No, it can't be Old Testament because Jesus is coming back down. That's when end of times is Revelation.
Oh, okay.
Everything you want to know what's going to happen in the future, you just read Revelation because it's exactly what's going to happen.
So I can just skip ahead and go right to Revelation.
Yeah, it's going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. And it's really bizarre. There's some crazy stuff in there.
That Old Testament, though, boy, that was some gangster shit going off right there.
This is back in the day, primitive, people who were hard to control, so they had to make a lot of rules. You do this and you die.
They need to rename the Old Testament. All right, here's the gangster shit. This is the OG gangster shit.
And God had a kid, and he got all mellow and stuff. He started doing the peace and love gimmick. That's how it works.
Peace and love.
He was all full of testosterone when he was killing people. And he's killing babies, sending locusts.
Bro, he was killing everybody, right?
Killing everybody. He's a hothead. He was a real hothead.
Pretty gangster.
I mean, he's like 1 million teardrops on his face. He's shooting fucking gangster.
1 million teardrops.
He did kill like 1 million people.
At least.
At least.
At least.
I respect him for that. I always give him props for that.
For the killing?
Yeah. It's like, take it seriously, buddy. You run a tight ship.
He had creative ways of doing it, too, didn't he?
He used to run a tight ship.
Then he got lackadaisical in the New Testament?
We could have used several hundred, plagues and, firstborn killings throughout the world over the last century or two. He's really slacking. Things would be a lot better right now.
That's where Revelations comes in, and then it's fiery pit, right? What did they ever actually find? Again, dumb question. I know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Work with me. Did they ever actually find Noah's Ark? I keep feeling like there's an article that'll come out every year of going, oh, we found this and it could be Noah's Ark. Did they ever actually find The one?
Allegedly on Mount Ararat or something. I don't know what mount was it? Some mountain over there in the far away. They found the frozen. And you get the pictures of like a couple 2x4s sticking out of the thing. I don't. It never seemed legit to me.
I could get the. I mean, it's a cool concept. I mean, if you think about the concept of Noah's Ark, that is one interesting thing.
It's so preposterous when you think about it. When you break it down and you realize.
And then you have to explain that to your child.
How many people, yeah.
And you have to, again, I know we've talked about the tooth fairy before and all this stuff, but you got to sell all this stuff to the kids, right? The tooth fairy, the Santa Claus, all that stuff. And then you take it away slowly and they learn about it and you go, yeah, all right, it was us. Yeah. But yet, for some reason, you still have to peddle the other theories like Noah's Ark and have them, even in their adulthood, there's adults that believe that Noah's Ark was a real thing. That is taking the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, all of them together and timesing it by like 1 million.
As far as believability.
It's outrageous, right?
Or, I mean, people don't.
Or is it?
Or do people really, they don't believe it. It just slowly, it's like Santa, Claus, it comes to the realization that obviously that's not true, but it's just tradition. So you keep up the Noah's Ark deal because it's a cute little story, 2x2 and all.
It's not a cute story. It's a story about a great flood. And the only way that they were.
Everyone in the world.
Except
2 people.
And a couple of each animal. A male and a female, coincidentally enough, to be able to breed and keep things moving forward.
None of them died.
Nope. Everything
died.
They all hunky dory.
They all bred successfully when they got back, and I don't know what they were feeding them.
I didn't think about the food portion.
40 days. I don't know.
The logistics alone, and then they're pooping. God, that boat had to smell. That had to be terrible.
Just weighted down with poop.
Oh,
you couldn't even shovel.
Noah's on the front, like, okay, guys, what are we doing here?
You think Noah is shoveling the tiger cage?
I don't think they had shovels.
Are you going in the tiger cage?
I'm not going on a boat built in whatever year that was. Like, hey, is this sturdy? Well, we built it with some 2x4s, but you're putting camels and elephants and 2 of everything. That's some heavy weight.
It was supposedly like the size of, like 2 football fields or something.
It could be the size of 12 football fields. It can't be watertight.
Certainly can.
There's no way that thing's watertight.
Damn. Why? You think they built ships back in Noah's day? They did build boats back in Noah's day.
But it was just Noah building it.
He was a diligent.
How good was this guy as an engineer?
Noah lived to be like 800 years old.
Oh.
No, he did. That's
so
what
he had
said.
a lot of experience.
So for 800 years, his wife, was like, Noah, when are you going to quit building a boat? For like 600 years.
I'm almost done.
100 feet to go. Hi.
Back's a little tired from me being 600 years old.
Noah's Ark. It's like, it's not even remotely believable. He killed everybody, and he left like 2 people.
Boy, he didn't kill everybody. The flood killed everybody, right?
He made the flood.
He did make the flood?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was on him?
He was mad at everybody but Noah.
I don't know the true
God
story.
Punished the world with the great flood.
Right.
It rained for 40 days and 40 nights.
But that didn't have anything to do with Noah.
Noah was just the only guy that God saved.
Right. So he was the chosen one, and then he also coincidentally saved 2 of everything.
Yeah. Allegedly, yeah.
I wonder, I'm sure somebody's done the math on it, or ran the numbers of if you were to actually have to save 2 of every animal, what that square footage would look like, what that footprint would be. You know what I mean? That would have to be. Oh, you're looking. Oh, they did find the ark. Look at that. Hey, there it is. It's the ark.
So this is the ark right here.
Because I have sand butthole.
It's a vagina, sand vagina. Or something.
Yeah, sand vagina.
Oh, look at that. It's definitely a sand vagina.
We found it. We've located the sandy vagina.
See, it's not even really. That's it.
Wait, but where's the actual boat? I don't see the. Is this just
I don't even know what they're trying to show me. There's not.
And furthermore, why do they keep
it? That's it. See, that's why I always thought it was sketchy.
Well, that and okay, so you've got let's say the Sandy Vagina is the boat, right? Why isn't somebody down on the ground? Why not land whatever you're flying over it with? Land down there,
show some art pieces.
Take some shovels down there and start picking that thing apart.
I wonder how big would Noah's Ark have to be? I don't know. There's got to be somebody.
Somebody's had to scale it out by now.
That.
Yeah. I mean, we ask it, but we won't want to do the work. There's going to be some scientist out there that's actually put in the time.
You would think. It says here, well, see, the Ark is said to be made of gopher wood.
Gopher wood.
And it was supposed to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits tall, which is 450 feet, which is a football field and a half.
Come on.
By 75 feet.
How many decks?
Yeah, and then
it's just a single story here?
Doesn't even say. The National Science Center says the impossible voyage of Noah's Ark. I think that's right. It's impossible. How big? Oh, these are all too long. This guy said, he's probably a preacher. He's lying. Yeah, I don't know how big it'd have to be.
Too big.
Somebody says something like 6 kilometers by 1 kilometer.
What's 6 kilometers look like? Is that like 3.5 miles?
Yeah. See, now that's reasonable. For every animal on Earth, 2 by 2.
And you know what?
Supplies and
you're right. It is reasonable, but
water.
But if that part's reasonable, the rest of the story still isn't. Like it all just doesn't add up. It all can't.
No, I don't think that's reasonable. You can't build a 6 kilometer
I mean, even
boat.
if you did,
nobody has yet. And nobody's building boats a mile long. The biggest ones are like the ones that hit, the Baltimore Bridge, and they're like, 3 football fields.
Yeah.
This is like, 30 football fields. It's going to have to be.
Again.
And you can't build that. One dude ain't building that.
I was going to say, let's go back to logistics. It takes, a very long time to build a ship that's set to make a voyage. And but if you're a Christian, you have to believe that, right? Like you buy in. I know you're saying that, it's part of the thing and you just kind of go along with it. But as a true Christian, you in theory would have to believe it.
Well, there's a lot of if you trying to argue with people about Christianity, and you try to ask them about some ridiculous stories, they will say, well, yes, those are just stories to give moral lessons, and they'll just basically poo-poo their own.
So they take
Bible.
them out essentially. They don't.
No, it's good. Noah's Ark, yeah, it's a good story.
But does that mean they believe it or they don't believe it?
They don't necessarily believe. Then there's the ones that believe every
if
word.
If you're a preacher,
yeah,
you have to. I mean, let's say you're a real God-fearing preacher, like a true one that's doing it for all the right reasons, and I know there's 2 or 3 out there. They, technically speaking, would have to buy in.
Yeah,
and then they would have to be able to spin that to their. If somebody raised their hand and go, "Hey, man," they would have to come up with a plausible explanation for it. But I can't for the life of me understand what that explanation would be.
I think if you're a preacher and somebody's asking you in church, which they never do, nobody raises their hands and asks nothing. But if you were and asked about, he'd say,
church Q&A is there?
All you'd have to do is say, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Yes, there was an ark, and yes, there were 2, and the people are going, yes, there was an ark.
And then they go, you got to have faith. That's always
man.
That's always the trump card of faith. Yeah.
I remember I was talking, this weird memory, but I was talking to Mike Oliveira. We're in his office and talking about religion, and I was poo-pooing his beliefs, and he's like, well, do you have, faith? Because I was talking about blind faith. I was like, I'm not blind faith in nothing. She's like, well, do you have faith that your wife isn't going to cheat on you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, there you go. That's just blind faith. It's like, no, I've been with her for 20 years, and I know her, and she ain't going to cheat on me. That's not blind faith. That's knowing. That's when you know. It's the exact opposite of what you're saying. I know she's not going to cheat on me because...
I would have... My response would have been no, it's hope. It's not faith. It's just a hope.
That's the same thing as hope.
You could hope they're not,
Hope.
but faith and hope, or I don't know.
Pretty much the same thing.
Is
Well,
it?
I don't know.
Hope seems.
Faith is stronger.
Faith is definitely
faith
stronger.
Something's going to happen. You really think it's going to happen. If you're a normal person, you hope something's going to happen.
So that was Mike's argument to
Blind faith, which is the basic tenet of like Christianity. It's like you're not getting any examples. There's no tangible evidence, and you'll never get anybody. It's based on your belief, your blind faith belief, which is the perfect business model.
Yeah.
It's the perfect business model.
I mean, I would love to. I'm not, truly well versed in religion on that level to be able to have a intelligent debate with a priest or a preacher or somebody like that, right? I'm not there. But I would also love to see one happen with somebody asking some questions. But I also don't like if you were to just roll up on a preacher and go, "Hey, I got some questions for you." It's almost like not fair to the preacher because, yeah, it's their job to know this stuff, but like, should they have to defend their position at any given time?
No. But I mean, only if they were like looking to debate you.
But on a Sunday, you're right. But there's no Q&A during church.
No, I've never heard of one. Nobody's. I think like anybody who's really there, it would be too like embarrassed because everybody would look at you like, "What
You're
are
right.
you doing?"
Yeah, you'd be that guy. You don't want to be. Nobody wants to be that guy.
Questioning. That's the ultimate sin is questioning your faith. Conveniently, questioning your blind faith.
It's all so weird.
Even though the apostles made Jesus show them his wounds, because they did not believe he was resurrected. So all the apostles are in hell.
So
they doubted.
So he had to take off his gauze and be like,
"Finger it.
Here it is, guys."
Like the Losing My Religion video. They're fingering his wounds. How'd we get on this tangent?
I don't know, but if it's legit, we're definitely not going to heaven.
I'm upset that you said Iran was going to attack within 48 hours, and that was last hang.
Hold on, I didn't say that. That's what the media said. I was curious of what was going to happen. I don't think anything's happened yet, but the Hamas leader got a bunch of his family members killed.
They do a drone strike or something?
Something like that. He had sons and daughters and grandchildren die, and he came out like, I don't have his quote in front of me, but it was more or less a thing of like, he ain't even shook by it. He's like, yeah, this is
gangster.
They're martyrs. And now we're really gonna like it's what do you expect from the guy? He's not going to come out and go I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to use it to stoke the flames. I don't know. I don't even.
I have seen CNN though be more anti-Israel this past week, which is, I don't know, media in general. At first, it was all pro-Israel. It just really was. That was just the sentiment. And then some Palestinian, stories come out. And now you fast forward to however many months it's been. And now the media it's not anti-Israel by any stretch, but it's a little more pro-Palestinian than it was.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see the shift from the media perspective, because it's like, guys, 4 months ago, you guys were just beating the dog shit out of Palestine. And now you're going, well, maybe Palestine deserves a little human rights and some dignity, like all this stuff going on. And again, no, I don't have an opinion on it.
No, I support Israel. It seems to me on the right, they're still fairly pro-Israel.
So it's just the CNN I was watching?
Probably. It's a definite see, it's like everything else. And, it's like war. It's like nobody knows the truth. But one side is morally doing exactly what they have to do to rid the world of Hamas. And on the other side, it's like, man, they're just slaughtering everybody in the entire country indiscriminately. So which one do you believe? You can say, oh, they can't believe the lying Hamas terrorists. Believe the Israeli politicians. Come on.
I
don't believe my own politicians, let alone another country's politicians.
I just feel badly for that little kid who has no food, no shelter, no hope.
Oh, it sucks so bad.
No anything. And has been put in a position he didn't ask to be in. He has nothing to do with any of it. He's just a 6-year-old being a 6-year-old.
Starving to death.
And boxed in. It's just weird.
But they don't want you thinking about that. They want you thinking black or white. If that kid, hey, his parents shouldn't have voted for Hamas.
Right.
See, that's what they want you thinking, because they don't want you to humanize. Don't ever humanize anyone from Palestine, from the Gaza Strip. No. That's moral equivalency. You can't humanize them. You have to. They're the enemy. That's the only way you can get away. If you see the videos and the pictures
of the kids getting taken out of there and the place is bombed out and depleted,
the devastation is like no war I've ever seen. It's like they just leveled everything,
and it was leveled before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a booming metropolis prior to. It had been shell-shocked and depleted from before. It's just more of it now.
But there was nice areas over there.
Nice?
There were no, seriously, nice. I
have not seen any of that.
Millions of people. I mean, it's a kind of an open air prison.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nice areas, and those are completely devastated now. It's a tiny area with a ton of people. Like, people don't even understand how tiny it is. It's like ridiculously tiny.
What is it, like 25 miles?
Yeah, it's 25 square miles or something
like that.
It's not a huge place. Oh well, you gonna get nowhere talking about that.
We're real downers, man. Go ahead.
No, but what's an upper is coming back.
Oh, are we doing chat?
Come back. We're gonna answer you. We're gonna answer your chat questions. I mean, I know you guys have burning questions. They have, they're smoldering in their minds about our fascinating careers and our lives and our hangs and our quirks and whatever.
Autism.
Whew. Our spectrum. What phase of the spectrum we're on. The people are curious, and they're gonna ask us. And we're going to remember to reply.
We will remember. I'm making a note right now.
I swear to God.
It's going to say chat. That way I can see it. I am going to set an alarm. In 5 minutes. Yes? 5 minutes. We'll come back.
In 5 goddamn minutes.
5 minutes. Starting now. Maybe.
Did you hit it? Are you waiting for me to do something?
I started the timer. Now we're down to 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, I could work on getting stuff ready for the break.
All right, that's okay. Now we got 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Here we go. In 4 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll be right back with more Hang.
Do you like trailers? Who doesn't? So come on down to American Trailers. Brandon from American Trailers has been repairing and customizing trailers almost as long as he's been taking illicit drugs. Broken axles, rusty tongues, greasy, noisy winches. Brandon knows all the latest Urban Dictionary sex acts. And he'll fix your trailer, too. American Trailers, you haven't lived until you've seen Brandon from American Trailers light a joint with the flame from his welder while he's sanding a rusty ball mount. Why would you go anywhere else other than American Trailers? Because you're a goddamn communist. Brandon from American Trailers bleeds red, white, and blue, my friends. He poops stars and stripes. He urinates freedom. Brandon makes trailers great again. Do trailers get you hard? Then come to American Trailers, because Brandon is hard for trailers 24/7. And if you ever saw him slide a greased-up hinge pin into a ball mount after inserting it into a brand-new Virgin receiver tube, you'd know why I spend my afternoons parked across from American Trailers watching Brandon with my binoculars. Hold on! American Trailers! Give him a call at 813-627-8885. 813-627-8885. Assholes.
He's rude. He's crude. He's a southern boy with a New York accent. He's Andrew Dice Foxworthy.
You might be a redneck. If your front porch falls down, it kills more than 7 dogs. While you f***ing your sister, oh!
He's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll.
You might be a redneck if you have more than 4 cars up on blocks in your front yard, and you f*** your sister in every one of them, oh!
Andrew Dice Foxworthy, the baddest mother south of the Mason-Dixon line.
You might be a redneck if you go to the convenience store and you pick up a truck and buy a 6-pack of Old Milwaukee, a can of Copenhagen, and while you're gone, your dad f***s your sister, oh!
The Nashville Network proudly presents Andrew Dice Foxworthy.
Dickory, dickory, dock. My sister was f***ing my. The clock struck 10. My dad joined in. We f***ed her well past 6 o'clock. Oh!
Andrew Dice Foxworthy.
Minnie Pearl, I f***ed her. Oh!
He's rude. He's crude. He's a southern boy with a New York accent. He's Andrew Dice Foxworthy.
You might be a redneck if the primary color of your car is Bondo, which coincidentally is the color of your sister's pussy. Oh!
He's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll.
You might be a redneck if you go to a family reunion to meet chicks and end up f***ing your Aunt Gladys and your sister. Oh!
Andrew Dice Foxworthy, the baddest mother south of the Mason-Dixon line.
You might be a redneck if someone asks for your ID and you show them your belt buckle. Of course, first you gotta move your sister's head cause she's f***ing blowing you. Oh!
The Nashville Network proudly presents Andrew Dice Foxworthy.
Mary had a little lamb who grazed upon the grass. Every night her brother f***ed its little lammy ass. Ow!
Andrew Dice Foxworthy.
Reba McEntire can s*** my d***. Ow!
Hey, Rich Doggy. Rich Doggy in the house. Oh, yeah. Yeah! Let's get this started. Why you so crazy like a ball of beef? Crazy! Oh, wait, you're not crazy cause you lay on. Oh, you're too lazy! Rich Doggy! Rich Doggy! Kitty, you should rename yourself Lazy Doggy. Whoa! You're also best friends with Rich Kitty. Rich Kitty! Because you're both rich. Both rich! We get it! You're so crazy I can squeeze you. Squeeze you like a stick! Cause you're so skinny. I can crack you like you're like a little stick. I can break. I can break ya! I hate this. I hate this song. But I'm still singing it. I like you. You don't like me. You're so annoying. As known as Rich Kitty. Hey! Hey! Little Rich Doggy! Rich Doggy! Why you right here right now? Why? Why? Rich Kitty! Rich your Kitty! Friend, but I hate her and you. You're so crazy. The friendly animals like, friendly pit bulls. Oh wait, there is no such thing as that.
Sorry to subject you to that, Matt.
No, it's all good. Look,
When you have a granddaughter, you'll do the same thing.
dude, it is no worse than any of the new rap music out today. So
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad.
it's all good.
It's like I don't know if you know Tate McRae,
I do. Yeah.
but it's like she's got a good voice.
Mm-hmm.
But like in her last few singles, like she's so auto-tuned. It's like, we're going to reach the age where you got mumble rap, And then you've got computerized music where anybody can sing, where they electronify your voice so much. It's like not even necessary. If someone has a good voice, they don't need to be sing the entire. It's like some of her entire songs, like half of it is auto-tune. It's like.
Did you ever hear T-Pain recently without the auto-tune? Because T-Pain was notorious for...
Oh, yeah. I've heard him sing, like, rock songs and stuff.
Oh, bro, his
He's
voice
got
is...
a great... He won the Masked Singer, buddy.
Oh, did he?
A couple years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that. But, yeah, he was fantastic. It's...
No, he's got a great voice. A great voice.
Funny how that goes.
But, like, auto-tune is cool to use... Like, like you'll sing, and then at the end of the verse, the last word will be, the auto-tune.
Do you believe in life after...
And it'll sound cool, but not the whole song. It's like,
focus. Chat.
Oh, shit.
Focus.
Oh, shit.
Stay focused.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
Focus on the chat.
See, they might rib us.
Are they ribbing us?
They might be ribbing.
That's funny, too. I either way, I get it. What do they call it on Reddit? An AMA, and Ask Me Anything?
And as Navy says, y'all still have a chance for the 3-1 chat forget bet. 45 seconds.
We're here. We're on it.
Okay. I think they didn't ask any questions.
Perfect. Perfect.
They didn't ask one. Should play the song. I think Berlin did. Lil Ho. It should have been a smash. If we can hear about the autism and or family crest. Please, Matt, if we can hear about his autism and or his family crest.
The family crest tattoo's doing fine. I know. And then the autism's it's going. Some weeks are more apparent than others. Let's say.
I can see the struggle, Matt, and I think you're in my prayers. With your severe
Let me
case
tell you something.
of autism.
Do you know? I'm not even kidding around. This is the only place where I feel like this is the only time I feel normal. I know it sounds insane.
Maybe I have autism and I am such an egomaniac I refuse to admit it.
Again, I've told you I think you are, but for real, in my everyday life, there are things that are. It's pretty, it can get pretty weird. Here I'm fine. Here it's okay. It's
your safe space, man.
It's the other.
Give me a call anytime.
It's the other 22 hours a day for the other 6 days a week that it's a little brutal.
So his autism is manageable, and he treats it by hanging.
Correct.
Triple H Source says, "How did Matt feel when Gene Lasker smoked him in the foot race?"
I do not remember this Gene Lasker foot race.
And Gene's never been in good enough shape to beat you. Ever. Gene's never been in good shape.
And no offense to Gene. If it happened, fine. I can't remember everything. I get it. But I just don't see how, unless I was... Did I have a broken leg or something? Like, there had to have been something, some sort of handicap on my end in order for that to happen.
Maybe there was like a 40-yard handicap or something.
Yeah, maybe he got a head start. Something.
Does anyone else remember this? Does anybody else remember it? Pass a cold one said, "Is Gene Lasker still building a podcast studio?" He talked to me years ago about building a podcast studio, and he was like, "I'm going to do this and that. It's going to be, he's really high on." And then he took him a long time to build his house. He built a nice house.
No, good for him.
And I never heard about the podcast studio until recently. I think he might be getting it going, but he's also getting back into racing, like big time.
Is this recent?
Yeah, I just Donna showed me on Facebook. He's getting back into racing, and he's got a new car and everything. It's like, and he's learning to race on asphalt. It's like, I don't know, Gene, at your age.
What do you mean? It's driving.
Yeah, but you lose your balls.
Not him.
I think everybody loses their balls.
That's okay. There is a little bit of that.
Because that's racing is all about. I got to risk it, man. I ain't risking shit.
So
I ain't gonna go race. Give me opportunity to race.
Well, I'd say two
things.
things.
For that shit.
One, as far as a podcast studio, if Gene's doing that, I don't know the status of it. Obviously, like you mentioned, but if he did have one, it would be the sweetest podcast studio ever. Because that's how he.
Yeah.
That's him. Secondly,
he'll make it pimped out.
yeah,
I would love to go to Gene's podcast studio and hang out. Do a hang at Gene's podcast studio. How fun would that be?
that would be amazing if I was welcomed on the property and was.
Is he? Do you have heat?
I personally don't.
I can't.
Not that I know of.
I haven't heard of any heat, so I'll contact Gene. He's got a new Facebook page, and maybe one day we'll venture over to Lasker headquarters. I'd love to see his new place. I've always got along good with Gene.
I have too. I mean, it was like all those works on the show where I had to, sort of come across a certain way, and I'd make snide remarks. But as far as like actually like personally off air and all that stuff, dude, that guy is he's a doer.
Yeah, he is, man.
To the point I've never seen anybody else like that. There's a certain breed of person that just makes stuff happen, and he's just one of those people. It's fascinating to watch.
I mean, Lasker from nothing. He
Oh, if you hear his story,
his story's amazing.
Crazy.
He doesn't have any education. He started out, not well with no parents, and basically the guy became, fairly well off. He made a shit ton of money to where he could buy property and build a super nice house and live a fantastic life and race cars. And he's like the American dream, because that guy, he's just going to bust his ass and he's going to find a way to do it.
Gene, the American Dream Lasker. That's the new racing name right there.
Oh, it is.
It is. That is so perfect.
Oh, I've got to tell him that one.
Gene, the American Dream Lasker.
And then every time somebody asks him, "Hey, Gene, why are you calling?" He can just go into his whole spiel.
I'll tell you why I'm the American Dream. Started off when I was a baby. Started off when I was born. When I got dropped out of uterus from this stranger.
Yeah, I mean, they're so.
Yep.
Oh, yep. Gene, the American Dream. That's it.
Yeah, I'll have to get in contact with Gene. I'd love to go on his podcast, because if we went on his podcast, we wouldn't have to worry about getting banned on our podcast.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you have your finger on the button when Gene's around.
Yeah. Good point.
I would like to. I'd like to get in contact with Gene. Let's see if we got anything else. Any other questions? Good questions. What Chad is asking some good questions. I'm looking for the questions.
Are they?
I've Gene, but Matt would smoke him in the 40. He's married. Go Gene. Flip flops.
Gene.
Okay, here we go. Jimmy from Beer City says, "Was the rat milkshake a gimmick or a work or a shoot? A gimmick, a work, or a shoot?" Well, a gimmick is a work. So it's a work or a shoot, and it was definitely a shoot as far as I know. Don't tell me I was duped with a rat milkshake.
All right. I hate to disappoint everybody.
Are you fucking shitting me? You're lying. I saw the guys putting rats in the milkshakes.
I hate to disappoint everybody. The answer is the rat milkshakes were a complete shoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
so vile.
It was
so vile.
So disgusting.
So vile.
Dude, Dave Moore, who was playing at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the time, was in the studio for it. He left vomiting, which to see a grown football player just go like that, it was so nasty. It was so
It's so vile.
and I don't even know what
Horrific.
was the fact that, okay, we took these rats, and again, this is not animal rights stuff. This is way back,
Well, they were dead.
They were dead.
And they were like rats you'd
feed to a snake.
So there's no animal cruelty involved.
No. But so we had this blender in the studio, and they're blending them up and adding milk, in literally rat milkshake style. And the blender, if I remember correctly, couldn't get through all the
No, we needed a food processor.
all the stuff, and it ended up breaking, and it like overheated. So now you've got that smell of like a burnt engine, right, in the studio. And then we had to get another blender to finish the job. And then that person, I can't remember who drank it, but they drank it. It was
the if you didn't throw up when you were watching the rat get milkshaked, you would throw up when you watched the guy drink it because it was chunky. It was a chunky.
Oh, yeah, he was chewing it. Oh,
Lord knows what's in a dead rat too. You know what?
Yeah, because it was the whole rat.
Yeah, the whole claws, anus, guts, eyes.
I would say the top 3 things that just come into mind would be the rat milkshake was disgusting.
Yeah,
and it was real. Of every lie that was ever told on that show, that one was at least real.
Yeah, 100% real.
The placenta eating.
I'll never forget the smell.
Oh my God!
Of cooked placenta wafting
with
through
crazy ass Jack sitting there eating a placenta as it was cooked up in the radio station kitchen.
Just wafted through the whole, and it's just it's a nasty smell. It
was unique because he also added onions to it. That was part of the thing. It was like
it didn't help.
It did not help. The onion smell. That was brutal. The other one that was vile was the what was it called? We did a thing in the studio parking lot. Wait, it was the Roadkill barbecue.
Okay, that's with
with the hog
and everything.
But not the hog part was the grossest part. It was everything else. It was the freaks in the parking lot because they brought down all their different stuff, and this one guy had brought down, what was it? It was goldfish. He brought down, for some reason, there was goldfish. I don't remember.
Dead or they were alive?
I think they were alive. I don't remember exactly, but it was bring whatever roadkill you have, and this guy just happened to have goldfish. And a guy was there with a tracheotomy, and he was like, I'll drink them. And I think he drank the fish with some water, and he had to cover the whole of his trach because a fish was slipping out.
Yeah.
And then he vomited or something, and then somebody else drank the vomit for Metallica tickets. It was such a cesspool of humanity. It was so weird to watch, and it was all within that particular bit was all within like a 7-minute span. It was like, whoa, that was a lot of action just to take in. In 7 minutes. Like, this guy's got goldfish, a tracheotomy, he's vomiting, he's swallowing, this guy's drinking puke.
It's like a New York City sex club.
Dude, those 3 things stick out. I'm sure there's more, but those are the 3 that I mean,
what I was thinking of was the after Thanksgiving poop in the diaper deal. That was pretty vile.
The Great American Shit Off.
Who won that? Was it 25? Who won? Who shit?
I don't remember who.
Did you participate?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Much to my chagrin. Yeah.
And I can't remember Tom the Tree. Who won? Was Tom the Tree at 25?
I don't know. I don't know who won. The whole thing was. It was a great bit though. It was a fun idea.
It was a great bit. The rectum expansion was the most disturbing one in my opinion.
That's just a fetish thing. That's where like
you cross the line.
Cross the line.
That's the one. Like you could almost dismiss all the other ones, and then with that one you're just like, yeah, that we've reached mental illness. We finally have
Can you point to the exact moment in time where it all got really odd? That's one of them.
I almost called it when it was the homeless ball licking segment.
I forgot about that.
But it was definitely the rectum expansion.
Were you in studio? Did you leave the studio for the homeless ball licking, or were you in there?
I can't remember.
Because what a rib that would be if the fact that
I suppressed it.
How funny would it be if you left for all the hot girls that came in the studio, but you stayed for the homeless ball licking?
I couldn't resist the homeless ball licking, and who could? Who could? Witness the humiliation of a man who can't even afford to buy a house licking another man's balls for a 6-pack of beer and a 20.
Wait, who did the ball? I'm trying to remember.
The homeless licked each other's balls.
That's what it was. Yeah, they just licked each other, right? Nobody from the show did anything, right?
I'm surprised, but no, nobody did.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I feel like there was.
Somebody maybe had their balls licked, or
I
was
don't-
the lick?
Hold on. I think
What?
I
Got or gave?
gave.
I don't. No, I do not recall that. I would.
I don't either. That's why I don't want to say
That
it.
would be pretty. I don't know. I think that would be like etched in my memory if I was like, what?
Nope, you're right. You know what it was?
What?
He did the shaving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was shaving
there's
the
no-
homeless people.
Oh, okay. Because I know he shaved D-ball.
Yeah, yeah.
He should have opened a salon.
Just come out of the closet. It's fine.
Baba's Brazilians.
It's fine. Nobody cares.
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because it was actually be helpful. So I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Any other
I'm not gonna
questions?
give anybody any ideas to be successful ever again.
Ah, yes.
Ever again.
Keep them all to yourself.
I don't know if there were any more questions.
Oh, okay, good.
But see, but our response was all to a question. So don't say we weren't answering questions because this was all in response to one question.
That's true.
Everyone should listen to Gene Lasker's story about the loss of his daughter. It was on YouTube. Guarantee it will bring tears.
It will. I've heard that.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
Gene loved his daughter, and he was a good dad. Beaver smell like tuna, 100 bits. Speaking of being a good dad, thank you, Daddy.
Thank you, Daddy.
That's what I'm going to respond to from now on. All right, I gotta go through. What did you guys think about the Wonka winners?
Oh, it was all a work. That's what I think.
Oh, was it? See, I don't know.
Oh yeah, man. Those golden tickets. Yeah, there was
So what was the work? I see. Fill me in on another part of my career. I enjoyed the Wonka experience.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, see, I don't want to get anything incorrect, but I know that some of the winners were legit, but then some of them were handpicked regionally. Like he had done the handpicking, going, well, we need to have a winner from this section of the country because so he would pick that, and then also
that's smart business though.
Not if it's supposed to be random contesting. Yeah, like for real. Like
I mean,
that's not legal.
If I did a cluster Wonka, Lynn Carr might end up with a golden ticket. I'm just by the odds, just by odds.
I hear what you mean, right? But again, in a random lottery, you can't do that. That's not legal. But that's not my department. I don't care.
Definitely not legal.
I don't give a shit about it. Whatever. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was. And then that's like saying the 12 boobs of Chris.
I mean, that was
rife. Everything was rigged.
12 boobs is like, was there any legitimate winners in the 12
There was like
boobs?
one a year that was
one legit girl a year. Entire Tampa Bay area.
Come on.
Boy, can you imagine making women coming into the studio and photographing them topless before and after in this environment in this day and age? I think you'd get immediately.
Couldn't do it.
You could never do it.
No, yeah, the game has changed, and
a lot.
And honestly, thankfully, I mean, real talk. Thankfully, the game has changed.
I mean, that was.
But it was about as lowbrow as you could possibly get.
That's pretty manipulative to make someone who's trying to win something have to expose themselves.
Yeah. And then there's so many, it was like, I don't know. I was younger at the time, so maybe I didn't like think too much about it. But again, now being a little older, I'm going, this really was some stuff that was not cool.
Not cool.
Not cool.
You kind of turned a blind eye. Hang on. I got some questions here. Was the shit shed Matt's last straw? What was the shit shed?
Oh, that was the
shit shed.
Yeah, there was the shed. And, yeah, it was some. It was like there was like literally like a poop in there, and he had everybody go in there to. It was like the saw shed, but with a twist or something like that. I don't remember all the details of it, but was it my last straw?
Did you have a last straw?
It was a lot of last straws.
That is not the definition of a last straw. So many last.
So true.
It's like 100 last straws. And what was the last straw?
That
a lot of last straw. I think there was a lot of last straws with me too.
Oh, dude, there were so many. I would tell you that incident in particular was one that was very disturbing to me. I wouldn't call it a last straw, but it was one that I kind of took and go, okay, all right, cool, all right, I got you, and I still do. But yeah, so that's
The going in another direction says the worst thing ever is tied between circle jerk challenge and anal expansion. Yeah, the circle jerk challenge is one of those that should have been the last straw almost.
You know, this is all stuff that we typically save for clusterfshow.com and the VIP.
It is, it's true. You get all the juicy details.
However,
since
we're doing a nice little Q&A, those two things that you just mentioned were both equally disgusting, gross. I didn't have any part of it.
Yeah.
And didn't want any part of it and don't condone it. Let me just throw that out there. And
it's consensual.
I don't even know can you go ahead and explain this?
Well, you were there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it was D-Ball, Tuttle. Who was the other loser involved in that trifecta? What other
was it only 3? I thought it was more than that.
Well, I know it was at least 3, but D-Ball, Tuttle.
Oh, God.
Chip?
No, I think that was after.
Post-Chip.
Yeah.
Who the... Augie? No. Who else would it have been?
It's a good question.
It wasn't Tom the Tree Man. I think would have drawn the
25?
line there. No, I don't think so. Wow, I'd be surprised if 25.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Does anybody know?
Yeah, we've got a question for the chat.
We've got a question for you guys. Who was involved in the 3-way or 4-way Spunkorama where they were handcuffed to each other and they had to masturbate? Somebody had to masturbate. I don't. Who's the winner? Do you remember who the winner was? Or
there were no winners. The audience was everyone was losers, including the audience.
Going in another direction, it says Augie.
Okay. Well, hey, look.
He says B-Fud. No, I think, he wasn't a smart man, but I think he was smart enough to know that if you have someone ejaculate on a mildly mentally handicapped man, that's a lawsuit.
I mean, yeah. Look,
Augie.
I feel like there's some people that should still go back and retro some lawsuits on this thing, but
there's some lawsuits.
Whatever.
Lawsuits to be had. I think statutes of limitations, maybe.
Not if you just find out about something. You know, if you find out about stuff.
About what?
The clock starts ticking right then. I'm not going to say what.
Okay.
Just saying. If you find out about stuff, the clock starts ticking from that point forward.
Tell me more.
Nope.
All right, let's see if we got any more. I think we've done pretty well. The chat has spawned.
Oh, good. Okay.
25 minutes of conversation.
Did we answer them? I feel like we were honest about it.
I always try to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, like my thing is, I don't want to slant something, in one direction or the other because it is what it is. Like, there's no slant needed.
Nez Navy says, how many times did Bubba ask to see Matt or 25's dong?
Enough to be uncomfortable.
How about the Alan from Jacksonville says, how about the pubic hair burrito? I mean, that was tame. In retrospect, it's like, that's fairly tame.
Here's how tame that was.
I provided pubic hair for it.
Here's how tame it is in my mind. I didn't even remember that existed until just that moment.
There's so many things that you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it jogs some memories.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and ugly. But yeah, and that was real too, by the way. That was legit.
That was totally legit. I mean, Len's Navy says, how bad did y'all get fucked on Radio IO stock? I mean, I lost no money on radio. I had nothing. I was given 1 million shares and I got $0. I didn't lose any money. I just gained $0, which was,
I refer to it as an opportunity cost.
When he was pitching, we're moving from Sirius. We're doing IO. Everybody's getting 500,000, 1 million shares of IO stock. What was your opinion of that?
I don't know if I had I mean, I thought it was cool, right? But I'm also, the program director and trying to put all the pieces together. So, I felt like I was working pretty hard on it.
I mean,
what do you mean?
The meeting. We're leaving Sirius.
Oh, okay.
They're lowballing us.
Yeah.
We're leaving. We're doing our own thing. IO, you're getting them, getting stock. It's the next greatest thing. This is, what do you think about, we had that meeting where everybody was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. See, I was naive and I was just like, I was believing.
You were more pro than I thought you were going to be.
I believed the hype. I was believed the fucking hype.
Yeah, you were in.
I see, and I didn't talk to you about. I don't know why I didn't talk to you about it.
And you were, I actually come to think of it. So the meeting, you were pro. You're like, yeah, let's roll the dice. Let's do it. And I was like, wow, I can't believe he's so pro this. Come to think of it, me personally, I was 70-30.
Yeah,
anti. Okay,
anti,
because I knew what the serious thing was.
See, nobody. I didn't think what you're going to say is, the value of being on Sirius,
yes,
right?
Correct.
Nobody came to me and explained to me. I wasn't thinking that, because, I had good reason to believe. I mean, we were number one 98 Rock. We came back on, we went on Howard 101 and we just fucking killed. So I believed in the product big time. And I think my problem was I believed that the people in charge of the product had the competence and capability and the scruples to do it right, and I was 100% wrong. So that was definitely my failing on that.
Well, but it's also a thing where even if you were anti, it wouldn't have mattered, right? So the minds were made up, decisions were done, right? So at that point, it's just it's semantics. It's like, well, what do you guys think about this? Like, does it really, at the end of the day, does it really matter what we think about it?
All of us could have said no, and I don't want that.
Yeah, and anyway, well, you guys are a bunch of dicks, and you have like
I'm taking away your stock.
Right. Well, if you don't want to be a part of it, then just get out right now. Like, so there's no winning in it. So you just kind of whatever. So you did the best with what the cards that you were dealt.
Still, it's still, it irks me. I don't think about it often, but it's like, man, the being in on the ground floor of what, now everything is podcast, everything is internet radio, everything is internet. Mm-hmm. We were there a long ass time ago, and we squandered it by just no marketing, the whole business structure was not set appropriately to serve the customers. And these customers, that's a valuable customer. It's a customer who's willing to pay for your product in an industry where people don't pay for their product.
Yeah.
And he shit on them.
Yeah, and the decision was made, at first it was just subscription only, right? And over time, over the course of a few months, I looked at like phone call volume, email correspondence, just stuff like that, right? Just some data points of going, all right, where are we at?
Yeah.
And you could see it trending downward. You could see it, leveling out of going, okay, if somebody's doing a show and they're getting 3 phone calls a night and it's the same 3 listeners, clearly our subscription, we're not activating correctly. So, and I went to Tom and I'm going, we got to open it up. You just got to make it. You got to you give the subscription stuff, give premium content, but you got to open it up to get volume, to get awareness. You can't, this is not gonna. It's not help. You're just eating your own like nightly, right? There's no new listenership.
You open it up, and then you'll get a percentage of those people who will subscribe.
Right. So we opened it up, and that was a weird decision too, because I knew it wasn't going to fall in favor with some of the listenership because they had paid for this thing, and they're going, I thought this was exclusive to us.
Yeah.
But if you're on the other end of things, you're going, yeah, it's exclusive to you, and only you. Like you're the one that's mad. Everybody else doesn't know this exists. So you gotta you know, so we opened it up, which got some more engagement. And then from there, it just, it still had no marketing support, no plan. You know, I worked my butt off to get those guys paid. You know, the Shannon Burks of the world, the Scott Ledgers of the world, the specialty shows, all that stuff. And at the end of the day, just when it was for nothing. It was sad.
Sad. See, that's just how I view it as sad. It's like, because when we first started, and then people were getting paid, and we had the lineup with Burke and Ledge and the specialty shows, and it's like that was way better. Like everybody's got a podcast now, and the vast majority suck. We had some great professional content and different content. We had ran the spectrum, and it just wasn't marketed at all. And it's like that. You can't, unless you market, you're not going to get shit. And there was never that attitude. It was like, now, pinch pennies.
And as far as my stock goes, or your stock for that matter, I didn't really think about it too much. The point where it got awkward was when I found out when it pumped a little bit, and I don't remember all the details, but it pumped a little bit. I'm going, oh, dude,
yeah,
that's cool. And then I'm like, hey, I'd like to sell my stock. And it's like, oh, no. You can't sell your stock yet. You haven't held it long enough. You have to have it's like a 6-month hold or a 12-month hold on my issued stock or whatever it was. I can't remember. So I'm going, so let me get this straight. So I have stock. It's going up.
And you can't sell it.
But I don't know who else is selling it, right? So I would be very curious, even to this day, to go back and say, okay, who was selling their bags? Who was, like to me, like I equate it now to like crypto, right? You get these pump and dumps and these rug pulls. It's like, oh, it's a meme coin. It's Pepe. It's Dogecoin, and pump. And then you got a guy at the top going, thank you very much. I'll take that. Market drops. Everybody else is left holding the bag, right? That would be the equivalent of Radio IO stock, in my opinion. I don't know who. I have an idea of the handful of people at the top that were rug pulling everybody, but yeah, and we're sitting there doing the work, and literally can't sell our stock. And then when we can, it pumps so low and gone so bad that it wasn't even a there's nothing there.
Like you said, it's just sad.
It's a big fugazi.
It's just sad because instead of having the belief in what you could do, which you'd proven you could do, the show, there's never like when
you proved what you could do. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah,
it proved what it can do with a support team around it. Right? Like it takes a village. And I think the Radio IO thing was a perfect example of going, unless you have the full spectrum of going, okay, your marketing team, you've got, what are we going to do? You've got all this other stuff. You've got all these other branches off the tree, right? That are doing their job. You could have the best show in the world.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
And so, even as great as the show and blah, 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 makes no fucking difference. Unless you've got all marketing working.
But you had every reason to believe that it would be worth to put the money into marketing because and you had a lot, there's people that you could reach that already knew you were great.
Yeah.
We never even tried to reach those people at all.
Or you buy racetracks and condos on Sankey.
Yeah. Sad because I was a big believer. I'm just, I've always dreamed big, and right to the very, to the bitter end, I was like, man, what's next? What can we do? We got the fucking juice. We got the sauce.
Yeah, you weren't in the suck of it. That's the problem.
I wasn't in the suck of it, man. I was deluded. I deluded myself.
Yeah, like you didn't get in the suck of it until however long ago when you decided to venture off and go, okay, because then you were in the suck of it.
Yeah, I was big time.
You were above the fray, right? Which was to your benefit. So you didn't know maybe what was going on. But then when you did realize what's going on,
It's too late.
well, that or you realize what's going on, you're going, oh, this is what's going on. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here.
Too late.
Yeah.
To me, see, I'm just like, stupid. To me, I'm like blinded. I can't even fathom that someone who had achieved the success that he got to would just give up and say, just give it up. It's like he just didn't give a shit. And it's like, he's, he is what he is. I had a great on-air chemistry with him. And for some reason he didn't believe, like, maybe he's just smart. Maybe he knows that what he's done, he's never going to ever. He's done. So he had to cut his losses. I'm still Johnny Rah-Rah going, man, this chemistry is rare. It may just be down to us two, but let's fucking do it. And he wasn't thinking nothing like that. He was like, it's over. It's over, Cuzzy. I done fucked myself out of the business, Cuzzy. What are you thinking?
Yeah, when you cheat on the ratings, that's kind of just the nail in the coffin, dude.
Nail in the coffin.
And you can blame it on whatever you want. You can ad nauseum.
Don't get me started on that.
I don't want to get you started.
I'm not trying to, because I had to endure the entire "Woe Is Me" tour for years of it. It was a sex tape that did me in when it was when was it? No, we had our own station. It's called Bubble 98.7.
There's a old saying. It's what is it? It's never argue with someone who believes their own lies.
Oh, trust me, yeah.
And it's a very true thing because you can't. You just can't. Like that statement sums it up. I don't know how to better put it than that.
Yeah.
Phrase.
Ned's Navy says he answered 2 questions in 30 minutes. Better than nothing. I said, but the questions all led to giant answers.
Yes, big giant answers and some eggs in there, some little hints, some clues.
Yeah, that was
some hidden Easter eggs in there for you. If you listened closely.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Actually, if you did listen closely, there's some Easter eggs in there.
Ned's Navy says, when did Mike discover... Sorry for reading only Ned's Navy questions. When did Mike discover his ability to draw a yellow ass cat on Tuttle? Yeah, you probably didn't see that. Yeah, we don't get into that. I don't know. It just had to be done.
How about that answer, Ned's Navy?
I can't even remember exactly, but there's, he had these weird indentions on his. He was nude in the saw shed for some reason.
That tracks.
I was like, his face looks like an ass, like a cat. It's an ass cat. And I took spray paint and drew a cat on it. I got a little crazy in my last few months. I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit about this. I'll spray paint a guy's ass at 50 years old. And it looked just like a cat.
Oh man. Thank God.
You missed some great radio, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Let me see if we got any other questions.
I'm liking this.
Yeah, I have to do this again.
Actually, I don't know. Like sometimes it's therapeutic, and then other times it's
yeah.
It's like, oh God,
zip
me and piss me off.
See, I don't. Let me do I do a cluster F 3 days a week, and we rarely talk about it. And then today, some guy said, Bubba's talking about why you left, something about Janessa Brazil in the yoga pants. And I was like, that's not why I fucking left Vanessa. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, maybe Beavers Smell Like Tuna. They reminded me what it was. We were on Twitch, and we were on fucking AM. We were on Twitch and AM.
Yeah.
Like AM 820. Fucking, we were nowhere. Everything was Twitch. We're making our money from Twitch. And we got kicked off for some bullshit sex thing he was doing with Janessa, like late at night or something. And then I come in, like on a Monday, and it's like, oh, we're not on Twitch anymore. We're not on Twitch. We got suspended for 3 days because Janessa Brazil did something with her yoga pants. Rubbing the microphone on her snatch or some, and I was like, I kind of cut a promo. I was like, this is our fucking bread and butter. We come in here and do a show every day, and that's the most important thing. That's where we make all our fucking money, and we're getting banned and suspended for the second time for some stupid girl rubbing her snatch on the microphone. I didn't quit. It's not why I ended. I was just letting my opinion be known.
You finally vented.
Yeah, I vented a little. But and then I came back for however long after that doing, my yes man. Yes, right, Bubba. That's right, Bubba. That's right, Bubba.
Okay.
Bullshit. And then he was fucking with Trace.
Like yeah. You told me about that.
So that's why, I just lost it. I just couldn't take, it's like the last week I drove there, I would stop at Circle K and get a Thirst Buster as a little pleasure in my life. I had a soda to start the show. And then I would drive to work just screaming, going, ah! Ah! Because I hated him so much at that point. I hated him so much. Everything that he'd done to the fucking best radio show in the world, I loathed him for that. The best a show that could have just been, you could be virtually a household name right now, as could I. And that doesn't really matter to me. It just matters to me is like I would be like, a multimillionaire, and I would have it, but so I could never fathom how you can blow that. It just doesn't. It boggles my mind. And
cheat on the ratings.
I don't think a lot about. Yeah.
We
had a great product in a shit market with no good competition.
So
what the fuck? And but the company believes you in so much they named a fucking station after you.
So somebody said that you quit because of.
I guess he said that yesterday that I quit because of Janessa Brazil got us banned on Twitch.
But just to my understanding, that has nothing to do with anything.
It's just I was mad about it.
But that's just a footnote in the totality of the situation.
I quit because of his the totality of him being a huge cocksucker and he was trying to make me quit forever. And Donna's going, Mike, he's trying to make you quit. And I was like, he ain't trying to make me quit. What's he going to do without me? I was blinded. And then he was just trying to make me quit. And then finally I was like, I quit. I hate you. I loathe you.
Great.
What if it's crazy. The whole thing is just an insane epic tale of dementia.
Well, I also think it's insane how there's, look, and I get that there's one side and the other side and the truth. And, I get all that. But with certain scenarios and certain situations, it is quite black and white. Sometimes there can only be the way it happened or the way it didn't happen.
Exactly.
What you're telling me is it's just the way it happened. Like, so for anybody to say otherwise is just a fucking lie.
Yes.
Like there's you know what I mean? Like sometimes there can be, okay, you misconstrued this statement, or maybe I got that a little off. Maybe we didn't communicate correctly, blah, blah, blah. There can be some gray.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound very gray to me. It sounds very black and white.
Yeah, I'm honest to a fault. I'm just
that's my
I'm
point.
a pretty decent guy. And I was just blown away that after 20 years of being an honest, decent guy on the radio, that people were like, yeah, fuck you. We believe this liar that you told us was a liar 1,000 times. It's just like,
Didn't a judge call him chronic? What did the judge call him?
Unscrupulous, unsavory character or something.
And then
like
no,
that.
something else too is like wasn't it like an unconditional liar? Something like I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't. But to give him, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's just throw it out there. Do you feel like there was anything that you could have done differently to, I don't know, be there still, or was
no?
Okay.
I don't know how. See, if I was like a worker, which I'm not, I would have just said, fuck it. You say whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. You do whatever you want to me, my son. Fuck, I don't give a shit. Keep paying me, dick, and I'll phone it in. That's the only thing I could have done. He was. Look where he is now.
I don't know.
He's done. He's done. No, he's done. I
mean, I do know, but I don't really.
He's like bizarrely someone who with what he achieved is totally done, and that's the way he wanted it. That was the plan. Like at the end, it's like, so he's done, and I don't know. I don't understand it. It's like, what did he think? Like he could surround himself with a bunch of just nobody sycophants, and that he could do it all because he's the fucking man, or he was just like, I got enough to ride into the sunset and keep doing this stupid shit. I have no idea what the whole plan was.
But isn't he broke?
I have no idea.
Doesn't he owe money? I thought he was getting sued by the IRS. Wasn't there some sort of?
He could be broke, or he could be like have secret millions. I don't know. I have no idea. He's not going to tell you the truth. Gene Lasker's like, man, he works 24/7. He's never not working. It's like, yeah, you got that right. How exhausting! Fucking keeping up that lifestyle of fucking like. Well, he asked me what I'm asking about. He's talking about what he took to go to sleep at night. And he's like, I was like, I don't take nothing to go to sleep at night. He's like, what do you? You're bullshit. What do you take to go to sleep at night? And I said, a clear conscience. Fuck you, Manson.
That's not fair. That's not fair. I take Ambien. That's not fair. I take umbrage to that statement.
No, I smoke weed again.
No, there you go. There you go.
But
I know what you're saying. The spirit of the.
If I've sent a tweet that or posted something that I think was a little untoward or about, I lie awake at night and I go, I shouldn't have done that. I don't like regrets. And I do everything in my life to avoid regrets, because I think that's the worst thing.
I have so many regrets.
Sucks ass.
Every day, I've told this every day I regret something. I don't know how people don't have regrets. How do you just live life without any regrets? I'm envious of that. Like, God bless you. I got to regret. I did something today I regret. Like, I don't even know what it is, but I know there's something out there that I regret. Like, it's the way it is.
But I mean, I'm talking about serious regrets. Like
yes.
I try to live my life without regrets. That's all. That's all I try to do. It's and like I don't post nothing. I don't do nothing. It's like all that shit just. And if you you get worked up into the politics.
Sands, moments in time, dude.
Exactly.
They go.
Like, this political point, I'm going to talk about our stupid government. You're like, it's just going to get you on a fucking watch list. It ain't fucking worth it.
I mean, we talk about this stuff long form here because that's just kind of what we're doing. But yeah, on like socials and stuff, like all these comments and all the engagement farming and all it's dust. Yeah, I got a couple good Trump clips to play though. Oh, okay. Well, that's different. I mean, come on.
Yeah, see, I didn't vote for Trump. I don't, we got a couple 80-year-old fucks, running for election. It's preposterous. But God, that guy's got the it factor. And he gets me, man.
Are you talking about what he did today?
With the Chick-fil-A?
Oh.
I got a couple Chick-fil-A clips. I guess we'll save them for the VIP.
Okay. Sure.
Or not.
It's up to you. I mean, we've almost done 2 hours.
That's true. I do want to talk about it's Friday night. Don't forget. I'm talking to the chat here. Talking to you guys in chat. Don't forget the 5th anniversary Cluster F Bar Show Friday night at 8 o'clock. I've been doing this for 5 years, buddy.
Hold on. Wait a second.
5 years.
I didn't get an invite to the 5th anniversary. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. I'm busting my hump. I'm coming over here every Wednesday for 7 months. You got a 5th anniversary bar show. Not even I didn't even get invited to the hang.
Hey, Matt.
This is some bullshit. Look,
I didn't think of that.
We can work it on air spat.
I don't want to bother you on a Friday night, man.
Don't fucking give me this.
I think I said that the last time.
You did. The last time I wasn't invited
what
to
was the
something.
last time?
The Hang.
Oh, it was the
called the meet and greet. Called the Hang.
I'm a terrible friend, man. I'm a terrible friend.
The guy who coined the name of the show, The Hang, didn't he invite it to the
meat hang?
To the meat hang?
No, he didn't. No. It's only Wednesday. It was just when I was planning on inviting you after the show.
You weren't even gonna tell me about it.
I don't want to trouble anybody.
Look,
I don't want to trouble anybody.
Tell me about this. What is it?
No, it's nothing special.
What is it, Mike? Tell me about it, Mike.
Like for years, 3 years, we did we do a bar show on Friday nights, and we did it out at the bar.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
And then we're like, the acoustics, the audio. Let's try it in here. And I found it to be much better in here as far as a show. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It seemed like people enjoyed the atmosphere of the bar more. And I was like, well, it's the 5th anniversary. Let's take it back to the bar. And Donna's got to set up all the cameras and everything. It's a real pain in her ass. I was like, let's do it. And because most streams ain't making it 5 years. It's like, I'm so proud of what I've done in the last 5 years. I don't give a shit, that it's, that the millions of people who should have seen it didn't see it. I did some fucking great shit, and Donna and Trace have done great. Berlin was on the show for about a year when she came back from Colorado, and it was great. And she left, and I was like, oh, we're back to just Mike, Donna, and Trace, and it's like, how are we gonna we fucking didn't miss a beat. The Ned, all this shit, the Hang, fucking great product. I'm so proud of it, and it's 5 years. Most streams don't make it 5 years. So, I thought, well, we should have a little party.
That's cool.
So,
how do you...
And I appreciate, I love you coming in here. It's like, it's revitalized me in a way, Cluster F's a fucking phenomenal show, but this is different. And I enjoy doing different. I love coming here and getting the old chemistry back.
So you're having fun with it?
Fucking love it. Love it. This is what I...
And you think that this is you like it to be a part of your world, right? Your atmosphere.
I'm so appreciative. I probably should tell you more. I'm so appreciative that
you should probably fucking invite me to yeah, that's just some bullshit. I'm kidding. I don't.
But I'm probably, see that I'm
kidding. That's I think that's the funniest part about this whole thing. I don't know. Like I'm in agreement with you. It's just something different, something cool. But yeah, like you don't want to bother me. I don't want to bother you.
And look, and I'm not gonna lie that I don't constantly check the YouTube page to see how many views the Hang gets. Because I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of how good it is.
Yeah.
I do that, but I do that with it. And, it's like, but I constantly check. It's like, and we got a lot of views this week.
Did we?
No, nothing.
I know what you're saying.
It was a short week.
Yeah.
It was a short week.
Short week. Our downloads are good.
And anybody who comments to me when I'm such a mark. When I go on the YouTube page and I look at the little bell, and it has a number by it, that means someone has commented and said that they enjoyed our show. I love that.
I get that. Yeah.
I love that we did something that someone was so motivated that they enjoyed it so much that they're going to tell me that they liked it. It's like, I really like that. Hey, Matt, before I forget, it's a 5th anniversary bar show.
You give me a nice 48 hours heads up, like you didn't know this was 5 years in the making.
It was actually like 2 days in the making, because I just thought of it. I was like, we should do something. 5 years. That's
terrific, dude. For real.
Most streams ain't making it 5 years, and I bet they're dropping like flies. My plan is to be the last stream standing, bitch.
There it is. We'll get you by default. We'll get you.
All right. Well, we're coming back. Hey, thanks for all the questions. I hope
Did we miss anything? Any last quick ones or anything? Are we good?
How rough it is to try to host a show and then look at questions. Seen Paris last time or buying a new pair? Seen Paris last... Oh, he's talking. He's not even talking to me.
They're having little chit chats with one another.
I think we did a pretty good job.
All right,
Going
good.
to the chat, and we'll be back with more VIP, which you can access at clusterfshow.com. And we'll see you Friday night for the 5th anniversary. Spectacular!
What a dick.
Woo!